I tried to reach out to Sandfall Interactive for a sponsorship, and I was told I just had way too many subscribers, like I would actually sell too many copies of the game. This video isn't sponsored and is spoiler-free, and I'll only be using footage from the trailers and only stating my honest opinions. But if you want to go in 100% blind, then look away from the screen, you fool! But don't click away, cause I need the watch time. In the wake of Oblivion Remastered, most games revolving around its orbit were expected to be overshadowed and ultimately forgotten. But one game not only survived, it thrived. Expedition 33 was made by a small team of about 50 people called Sandfall Interactive, and they had everything going against them. One, the game is a turn-based RPG, which over the past few years, sales of those kinds of games have steadily declined. Popular publishers like Square Enix have shifted from turn-based RPGs to more hack-and-slash action-focused games. Two, it was on Game Pass, so people didn't even have to commit to a full purchase of the game. If they already had Game Pass, it was free, and if they didn't, they could just pay the subscription and play the game. And three, it released a mere 2 days after Oblivion Remastered, and unless they're keeping track of leaks, there's no way they could have prepared for this. And yet, despite all of that, on its first day, the game sold over 500,000 copies. By its third day, it sold over 1 million. I think some of those sales were due to the fact that the game is only $50, but I think most of the sales were due to its intriguing premise. Well, that and the fact it's a gorgeous looking game, and its soundtrack is amazing, and its combat looks awesome. And it's only $50. As for the premise, the game is about a godlike being known as the Paintress, who paints a number counting down each year. But each time a number is painted, everyone who is that age fades away from existence. And every year, an expedition is sent out to stop her, and the characters you play as are part of Expedition 33. Though, it's called that, but it's more like Expedition 67, something like that. It counts down, is what I'm trying to say. That was the initial hook from the reveal trailer, and it was enough to get me to buy it. I literally watched no other trailer other than the reveal trailer. As of this recording, I'm only halfway through the game, but it's already one of my favorite games of the year. I quickly became very attached to this game's characters, and found myself on the verge of tears during some scenes with characters I've only known for a few minutes by that point. The voice acting is so well done, but what really did it for me was the subtle facial animations. The way the characters talk and move all feel so real and relatable, except for the hair. I can't really relate to the hair, though I would love some shampoo recommendations. The combat is very customizable and incredibly deep, but none of it is overwhelming because the game does such a great job at teaching you everything step by step. But what can be overwhelming for some players is how much you have to be locked in during combat. I think that this is one of the most demanding and engaging but rewarding turn-based combat systems I've ever played in a turn-based RPG. You can dodge and you can parry, but the window for both is pretty slim, especially for the parry, so you better study those attack patterns. But if you master those parry windows, the game rewards you by allowing you to deal damage outside of your own turn. Characters can level up and gain various skills, and those skill trees branch off into different directions, with each branch representing a playstyle of the character. But you don't have to stick with one playstyle or the other. You're free to mix and match. There are items you can equip to your characters that give you certain passive abilities. When those items are fully upgraded, they can be inherited by every other party member, allowing you to further customize your playstyle for each character and create your own synergies. And that's really only scratching the surface. Though, if I explained every aspect of this game, we'd be here a while, and then the Paintress would probably paint 32. So let's move on to the last thing I want to talk about, and that's the art style and the music. It is incredible what the people at Sandfall Interactive have been able to achieve here, especially with the budget they were working with. Apparently, they were only working with 75% of a common AAA budget, and one of the goals they set out to do was to prove that you don't need an overinflated budget to make a great AAA game. The game is visually stunning, and I've often found myself stopping and taking in the scenery multiple times throughout my playthrough so far. And all of this, the scenery and the combat, is accompanied by an amazing soundtrack that varies from tear-jerkingly beautiful compositions to hype-inducing boss battle themes. Expedition 33 bloomed in the shadow of Oblivion, and it stands as a beacon for two important things. It stands for turn-based RPGs, showing how they could be more and how they can evolve. It stands for lower video game prices and development costs, showing how more can be done with less, with respect to not only the developers, but also the consumers. I am absolutely loving my time with this game so far, and I can't wait to shut up and go play more of it, so that's what I'm gonna do. Au revoir.